Welcome back my YouTube channel Old Coin ZEE Collection. Today's video, we're going to explore the fascinating story of this coin 2-cent coin from South Africa, minted in the year 1990. This small coin holds more than just face value. It carries a piece of South Africa's heritage and history. The 1990 South African 2-cent coin is part of the country's second decimal coin series, which was introduced in 1965 after the changeover from the South African pound to the rand. By 1990, the coin had seen several design and metal changes, making each version a collectible in its own right. This particular coin was issued during the presidency of F.W. de Klerk, a pivotal period in South African history. It was a time of transformation, as the country was slowly moving toward the end of apartheid and entering a new political era. Coins from this time are of interest not only to numismatists but also to historians. The obverse side of the 1992 cent coin features the South African coat of arms used from 1910 until 2000. The coat of arms includes a lion, shield, and other traditional elements, symbolizing unity and heritage. Above the coat of arms, you'll find the name of the country in English and Afrikaans, South Africa, and SUID Africa. On the reverse side, you'll see the well-known image of two sparrows sitting on a branch, a design created by artist Jan van Zyl. The denomination 2C is displayed clearly below the birds. The sparrow design has been admired for its detail and connection to the country's natural beauty. The coin was struck in bronze, which gives it a distinct reddish-brown color. Over time, exposure to air and handling can lead to oxidation, darkening the surface and giving each coin a unique patina. This natural aging process often makes the coin more visually appealing to collectors. The diameter of the coin is approximately 18 millimeters, and it weighs around 3 grams. Its thickness and lightness make it comfortable to handle and easy to store. Even though it is small, the detailed artwork on such a compact space is quite impressive. One of the most intriguing things about the 1992 cent coin is that it's not particularly rare in circulation, but certain conditions can make it extremely valuable. A coin that is uncirculated or in mint state condition can be worth significantly more than its face value. Collectors especially prize coins with no scratches, dents, or discoloration. Graded coins that score MS 65 or above by reputable services like NGC or PCGS are especially sought after. Some rare errors, like off-center strikes, double dies, or misaligned dies, can add enormous value. Now, let's talk about value. In standard circulated condition, the 1990 South Africa 2-cent coin might sell for just a few dollars to coin enthusiasts. However, in flawless, mint state condition, its value can rise dramatically, especially if certified. Some online auctions and private collectors have listed such mint coins for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on demand and certification. In extremely rare cases, where error coins or extremely high-grade examples are involved, values as high as $2 million have been claimed. Though this is exceptionally rare and usually backed by documentation and third-party grading, it's important to be cautious and verify the authenticity and condition of any coin before making a major transaction. Always consult a reputable numismatic expert or grading service to understand the true market value of your specific coin. This coin also makes a great teaching tool for those who want to learn more about coin grading, preservation, and South African history. It tells a story of a country going through change, and holding one in your hand is like holding a small piece of that transformation, whether you are a beginner or an experienced collector. This coin 1992 cent South Africa coin history. This coin 50 cents coin from the year 1991. This coin is not just a piece of metal, but a symbol of the country's history, design legacy, and collectible value. The 1991 South African 50 cent coin is part of the third decimal series of coins introduced in 1989. This series reflected a modernized design era for the country's currency, while still maintaining elements of South African heritage. Minted during a time of political and economic transition, this coin carries with it more than just monetary significance. This coin is composed of nickel-plated copper, with a mass of 5.5 grams and a diameter of 23 millimeters. It has a reeded edge and a standard thickness, typical of mid-range denominations from the era. Its lightweight and durable composition make it ideal for circulation, but its rarity makes it a collector's item. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the South African coat of arms prominently displayed. The year of minting, 1991, is clearly struck just beneath it. Surrounding the coat of arms, the country's name is inscribed in both English and Afrikaans, South Africa and Suid-Afrika. The reverse side is where the beauty of South African coinage truly shines. The design features the striking image of the strelitzia, also known as the crane flower or bird of paradise. This plant is native to South Africa and is known for its exotic and vivid appearance, symbolizing beauty and freedom. The reverse also includes the denomination 50C below the floral motif. The artwork on the coin was designed to reflect the natural beauty and biodiversity of South Africa, which is often highlighted in the nation's coinage as a point of pride. 1991 was a pivotal year in South Africa's history. It marked a transitional period leading toward the end of apartheid. This gives the coin even greater historical value, as it serves as a small artifact from a time of major national change. Collectors often seek coins from these transitional periods due to their historical resonance. One reason this coin stands out is due to its relatively low mintage. In comparison to other denominations and years, the 1991 50 cents was not mass-produced at extreme volumes, making high-quality specimens difficult to find in uncirculated or proof condition. This scarcity drives its demand in the numismatic world. When it comes to condition, grading plays a crucial role in value determination. Circulated coins may only be worth a few dollars, while uncirculated or mint condition examples, especially those certified by grading services like NGC or PCGS, can be worth substantially more. Coins with visible mint luster and no wear are especially prized. Now let's talk about value. While the regular circulated 1991 South Africa 50 cents coin might range from $1 to $5 depending on its condition, the real value comes from rare variants and proof specimens. A coin in brilliant uncirculated condition can fetch $50 to $200. But in numismatic auctions, especially if it's a certified high-grade piece or has a unique mint error, the value can skyrocket. There have been claims and listings suggesting values reaching as high as $10 million, although such prices are speculative and usually based on extreme rarity, error, or collector hype. It's important to verify any high-value coin through proper authentication and appraisal. If you believe you possess a rare variety of this coin, consult a professional coin dealer or grading agency to confirm its authenticity and potential market value. Collectors value the 1991 50 cents coin not just for its aesthetics, but also for its symbolic representation of South Africa's rich cultural and political history. Coins like this help preserve moments in time, reflecting the design choices and national sentiments of their era. This coin is also a favorite among thematic collectors who specialize in floral motifs or coins featuring plants and flowers. Its beautiful rendering of the bird of paradise makes it a must-have for such niche collectors around the world. In terms of investment, South African coins are gradually gaining more attention globally. As more collectors shift their focus toward African numismatics, coins like the 1991 50 cents will likely rise in both popularity and price. To wrap up, this coin 1991 50 cents South African coin history. This coin 10 cents coin from South Africa, dated 1991. This coin may appear ordinary at first glance, but it carries a rich backstory and some very surprising details that make it a valuable item in numismatic circles. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your journey, this is a coin worth learning about. The 1991 South African 10 cents coin was issued during a time of transition in the country. This was just before the official end of apartheid, and many items from this era are considered historically significant due to their timing and limited release. Struck in nickel-plated steel. The coin has a standard diameter of approximately 19.5 millimeters and weighs about 2.5 grams. Despite its small size, the design elements are both symbolic and detailed, capturing elements of South Africa's heritage. On the obverse side, you'll find the coat of arms of South Africa, along with the name of the country written in two of its official languages, English and Afrikaans. This represents the multilingual identity of the nation at the time. The reverse side features a stunning illustration of the arum lily, a native South African flower. This image was chosen to symbolize the natural beauty and botanical richness of the country. Below the flower, the denomination 10C is inscribed. The coin was minted by the South African Mint, which has a long-standing tradition of producing coins with both artistic and monetary value. The quality of strike and detail on this particular issue is generally very high, especially in uncirculated or proof condition, though it was part of general circulation. Some 1991 10-cent coins are believed to have been minted in very low quantities with slight variations or minting errors. These rare versions have captured the attention of global collectors and auction houses. Now let's talk about value. While a regular 1991 10-cent coin might not fetch a high price, rare variants in pristine or proof condition, especially those with minting errors, can be valued exceptionally high. In certain rare cases, these coins have been estimated at values exceeding $8 million. Yes, that's not a typo, $8 million, depending on the rarity, error type, and provenance. This high value is not typical for all coins of this date and denomination, but specific specimens, perhaps with double die errors, off-center strikes, or historical auction records, have drawn intense interest and bidding from elite collectors. Many collectors seek this coin not just for its financial worth but also for its place in South African history. The early 1990s were a turning point for the country, and owning a coin from this transitional era feels like holding a piece of that change. When collecting this coin, it's important to verify authenticity. Consult with a certified numismatist or submit the coin to professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC. They can help determine whether your piece is one of the rare and valuable variants. Storage also matters. Keeping the coin in an airtight holder, away from moisture and extreme temperatures, helps preserve its condition. The cleaner and more detailed your coin appears, the more it can fetch in value. Whether you found it in an old drawer or inherited it from a family member, this coin 1991 South Africa 10-cent coin. History of this coin, 1991 South African 5-cent coin. This small but historically significant coin has recently captured the attention of collectors across the globe. We'll uncover its design, history, rarity, and most importantly, its value. The 5-cent coin minted in 1991 is part of the South African decimal series introduced after the country moved away from the British-style currency system. The coin was minted in the early post-apartheid period, making it historically notable for many reasons. This was a time of great political and social change in South Africa, and coins from this era are often seen as representations of that shift. The obverse of the 1991 5-cent coin features the South African coat of arms. This design symbolizes the nation's identity, cultural heritage, and unity. The coat of arms underwent changes in the early 2000s, making earlier versions like the one on this coin even more unique and desirable for collectors who specialize in African or colonial-era coinage. The reverse side of the coin features the striking image of a blue crane, which is South Africa's national bird. The blue crane symbolizes elegance, peace, and resilience. The intricate detail in the design adds to the aesthetic value of the coin and makes it easily recognizable among coin enthusiasts. This coin was struck in bronze-plated steel, and it weighs approximately 2.5 grams. Its diameter is 18 millimeters, and it features a smooth edge. While it may appear simple, its composition and detail reflect the craftsmanship of the South African Mint during that time. The year 1991 saw a fairly high mintage for the 5-cent coin, with millions of coins being produced. However, not all coins survive in mint condition, and this is where rarity and value come into play. A coin in uncirculated or proof condition is far rarer today than one that has seen regular circulation. What makes this coin even more interesting is the potential for varieties and mint errors. There have been reports of off-center strikes, die cracks, and double die errors in some 1991 issues. These minting anomalies can increase the value of a coin dramatically, depending on the rarity and visibility of the error. Collectors often look for coins with no scratches, strong edges, and sharp detail in both the obverse and reverse. If your 1991 South African 5-cent coin has these qualities, it may be significantly more valuable than a worn or damaged piece. the coin has become particularly desirable among international collectors. African coins are underrepresented in global numismatic circles, which adds to their allure. As demand grows for coins from regions outside Europe and North America, coins like the 1991 South African 5 cents are gaining prestige. Now, let's talk about value. While most circulated examples of the 1991 5 cents coin may fetch only a few dollars, an uncirculated or proof condition coin, especially with rare errors, can be worth thousands. In fact, a verified error coin in near-perfect condition has recently been listed by a private collector for a staggering $5 million. This listing shocked many in the numismatic community and triggered renewed interest in South African coinage. Of course, not every 1991 5 cents coin will command such a high price. It's important to consult with certified numismatists or get your coin graded by professional services. Grading companies like PCGS or NGC can help determine the coin's condition, authenticity, and overall market value. It's also worth noting that value is often subjective in the collector's world. A coin's history, origin, rarity, and visual appeal all play crucial roles in determining how much someone is willing to pay for it. In cases like this, emotional and historical significance often influence buyers more than face value. If you believe you have a rare 1991 5 cents coin, store it properly. Avoid cleaning it, as this can damage its surface and reduce its collectible worth. Use a soft glove when handling and keep it in a dry, protective casing. As more collectors and investors turn their attention to African coins, the demand for specific pieces like this one continues to rise. It's not just about metal. It's about the story the coin tells and the history it carries. This coin 1991 5 cents coin history. This coin 5 cents coin from the year 1997. This particular coin is not just an everyday currency. It holds a unique place in the world of collectors due to its design, mintage, and the mystery that surrounds its high value. The South African 5 cents coin from 1997 is part of the country's second decimal coin series. Introduced after the end of apartheid, this series symbolized a new beginning for the Republic of South Africa. The coin was minted by the South African Mint, which is known for its precision and high-quality coinage. The obverse side of the coin features the South African coat of arms that was used until 2000. It includes traditional elements such as the lion supporters, the shield, and the Latin motto Ex Unitate Vires, meaning unity is strength. This version of the coat of arms was used during the transitional period before a new coat of arms was introduced in 2000. The reverse of the 1997 5 cents coin displays a beautiful image of the blue crane, which is South Africa's national bird. The bird is shown with wings spread gracefully, giving the coin an elegant and distinctive appearance. The reverse side was designed by renowned South African artist and engraver, Willie Myburgh. The coin is made of copper-plated steel and has a weight of approximately 2 grams. It measures about 18 millimeters in diameter and has a plain edge. Its reddish-brown tone and light weight make it easy to handle but difficult to preserve in mint condition, especially after years of circulation. The year 1997 is significant because of its relatively low mintage compared to other years. However, what truly sets this coin apart is the existence of rare errors and unusual striking variations. These minting anomalies can include off-center strikes, double dies, and missing details, making certain specimens highly sought after by collectors. One of the rarest known variants of the 1997 5 cents coin features a die error that results in a misalignment of the coat of arms or a doubled image on the reverse side. Only a few such pieces are known to exist, and their value has skyrocketed at auctions and private sales. Many coin collectors and experts believe that these error coins were the result of a brief lapse in quality control at the South African Mint. Because of their rarity and historical context, these coins are now considered numismatic treasures by both local and international collectors. Over the years, demand for rare South African coins has grown significantly. This is due to the country's rich political history and its beautifully designed coinage. The 5 cents 1997 coin, especially those with unique features or uncirculated condition, now holds an iconic status among rare coin collectors. The value of a 1997 South African 5-cent coin can vary depending on its condition and whether it has any minting errors. A normal circulated coin may only fetch a small amount. However, coins in mint state, graded MS-65 and above, or with verified rare errors can sell for extremely high prices. In some extraordinary cases, verified rare error coins from 1997 have been reported to be valued at up to $5 million. This valuation is not common and applies only to highly unique specimens authenticated by professional grading services and sold through top auction houses or prestigious private collections. To reach such a value, the coin must meet several conditions: pristine preservation, confirmed rare error, and high collector demand. Without these features, the coin's value remains modest. But when all factors align, it becomes a multi-million-dollar collector's prize. It is essential for collectors to get their coins professionally graded if they believe they possess a rare or error coin. Certification by respected organizations such as NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, or PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, significantly increases trust and market value. Storage and handling are also very important. To preserve the coin's condition, avoid touching it with bare hands. Use gloves or soft cloths and store the coin in a protective case or capsule away from moisture and air exposure. The story of this coin: 1997 South Africa 5-cent coin history. This coin: 1986. 1-center South African coin. But why is this coin worth so much? Stick around as we break it all down and explain how this humble coin became a collector's dream. Let's start with some history. The South African 1-cent coin was part of the country's currency system, introduced in 1961 after South Africa became a republic. The coin's design was simple yet elegant, featuring the image of a protea flower, a national symbol of South Africa, on the reverse side. This flower is a symbol of resilience and beauty, and it's fitting that it graces this small but significant coin. Fast forward to 1986, and the 1-cent coin was still circulating, but something remarkable happened that year. The mintage of the 1986 1-cent coin was extremely limited. Only a few were ever made, and even fewer survived in pristine condition. So, what makes the 1986 version so special? Well, there was a significant error in production that year, but we'll get into that shortly. In 1986, South Africa's mints produced a batch of 1-cent coins, but something went wrong. This error was caused by an issue during the minting process, and it led to an extremely rare variety of this coin. Here's the thing: most of the 1986 1-cent coins are pretty standard, and they aren't worth much. But some feature a die error that makes them highly sought after by collectors. These rare coins were never officially released into circulation, but a few managed to slip through the cracks. These error coins have a unique design flaw that makes them stand out. It could be a misstruck coin, where the reverse image is slightly off-center, or perhaps there's an unusual feature in the design itself. It's the rarity and the uniqueness of these features that elevate the coin's value. Now, let's talk about why this coin is worth so much. The 1986 South African 1-cent coin has a very low mintage, and even fewer are in mint condition. The error variety, which is what collectors are hunting for, is incredibly rare. These rare coins have been sold at auction for tens of thousands of dollars, with one coin recently fetching a jaw-dropping $55. 500. Why is this coin so valuable? Well, rarity plays a huge role. When you combine the fact that only a handful of these coins exist with the demand from collectors, you get a perfect storm of value. But that's not all. The 1986 1-cent coin is a part of South African numismatic history, and owning one of these coins means holding a piece of the country's rich heritage. It's not just about the value in dollars. It's about owning a rare artifact from a time long past. So, if you're lucky enough to find a 1986 1-cent coin in your collection or while metal detecting, how do you know if it's worth the big bucks? Here are a few tips on identifying the rare version of the 1986 1-cent coin. 1. Examine the details. Look closely at the protea flower design. Any misstrikes or errors in the design are key indicators. 2. Check the weight. The normal weight for a 1986 1-cent coin is around 1.8 grams. Any significant difference could be a sign of a rare error. 3. Look for the off-center strike. A die error can cause the coin to be misstruck, giving it a distorted design. Point 4. Condition is crucial. Coins in mint state or uncirculated condition fetch a much higher value. If you have a coin with very little wear, you could be looking at a potential fortune. Make sure you keep your coins in good condition, preferably in a protective holder or capsule, to avoid any damage. The better the condition, the higher the potential value. Let's say you have a rare 1986 1-cent coin, or you're looking to add one to your collection. How do you go about selling or buying one of these coins? First, I recommend getting your coin professionally graded. A company like NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, or PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, can evaluate your coin and assign it a grade based on its condition. Once graded, you can sell it through a reputable auction house, a rare coin dealer, or even through online platforms like eBay. But be aware of counterfeit coins and always work with trusted sources to ensure you're getting the best deal. So, there you have it, the 1986 South African 1-cent coin. A rare and valuable piece of numismatic history, piece of currency in this coin, 1985 South African 5-cent coin. This coin, a piece of history, is not only fascinating but also holds a jaw-dropping value of $2.5 million. Stick around to learn why this little coin can fetch such an incredible amount, and what makes it one of the rarest and most sought after in the world of numismatics. Before we delve into the astounding value of this coin, let's take a moment to understand its historical significance. The 5-cent coin was part of South Africa's currency system during the late 20th century. Introduced in 1961 as part of a series of coins to replace the South African pound with the South African rand, the 5-cent coin was designed to be a small, everyday denomination that citizens used for daily transactions. In 1985, South Africa was going through significant political and social changes. The country was under the apartheid regime, and many international sanctions were being placed on South Africa due to its policies. This makes the 1985 coin particularly interesting, as it symbolizes a turbulent period in South African history. Let's now look at the design of the 1985 South African 5-cent coin. On the obverse, we find a portrait of the first president of the Republic of South Africa, Charles Robert Swart, with the words South Africa inscribed around the rim. But what makes the reverse side so interesting is the iconic design of a protea flower. The protea is South Africa's national flower, symbolizing beauty, strength, and resilience. The simplicity of this design hides a great deal of significance and artistry, contributing to the overall appeal of the coin. Now, we get to the million-dollar question. Why is this 1985 South African 5-cent coin worth $2.5 million? There are a few key reasons behind its astronomical value. First, we must consider the rarity of the coin. In 1985, the South African Mint produced a limited number of these coins. However, a rare minting error occurred during production. Some coins were struck with an incorrect design, resulting in a small batch of 5-cent coins with an error that made them highly unique. Coin collectors and numismatists eagerly seek out these error coins, and a flawless example in perfect condition can command incredibly high prices. Another factor contributing to the value is the historical context. As we mentioned, 1985 was a year of significant political unrest in South Africa. Coins from this era, especially those with unique features, are highly prized by collectors who want to own a piece of history. Lastly, the coin's value has soared due to a small number of these error coins being discovered in pristine condition. Finding a 1985 South African 5-cent coin in perfect or near-perfect condition is incredibly rare, and this pristine condition has driven up its value. Over the years, this coin has made its way through various coin auctions and private sales. In recent years, its price has skyrocketed as demand from collectors continues to grow. But how did this coin go from being a simple 5-cent piece to a multi-million-dollar collectible? The coin first gained attention in the mid-2000s when it was spotted in an auction catalog. With a bidding frenzy that caught the attention of numismatists around the world, the 1985 5-cent coin eventually sold for an astonishing price. It's been through several high-profile auctions, where its value only continues to rise. For those of you thinking of adding one of these rare coins to your collection, it's important to know how to identify an authentic 1985 South African 5-cent coin. Many counterfeit versions exist, so you must know what to look for. First, examine the weight and dimensions of the coin. Authentic 5-cent coins from 1985 are made from a copper-nickel alloy, so they should have a specific weight and feel. Be sure to measure the coin's diameter and thickness as well. Second, pay close attention to the quality of the design. The engraving on genuine coins is sharp, and the details on the protea flower should be clear and well-defined. If you notice any irregularities in the design, you may be dealing with a fake. There you have it, the incredible story behind the 1985 South African 5-cent coin and why it's worth an astounding $2.5 million. From its unique historical context to its rare minting error and perfect condition, this coin truly represents the excitement and intrigue of coin collecting piece of currency. In this coin 1985 South African 20-cent coin, it's not just any coin. This coin is valued at an astounding $1 million, but why is it worth so much? And what makes it so special? Stick around, because we're about to uncover its secrets. Grab your magnifying glass and let's get started. First, let's set the stage. The 20-cent coin was originally introduced in South Africa in 1961, and it has undergone several changes throughout its history. But the 1985 version stands out for several important reasons. Not only is it an essential piece of South Africa's numismatic history, but it also has a unique story that makes it highly coveted by collectors worldwide. This coin features the classic South African emblem on one side, showcasing the coined African springbok, a national symbol of South Africa. On the reverse side, you can see the denomination of 20 cents, accompanied by the date, 1985. The design reflects South Africa's rich cultural heritage and its intricate coinage history. But what truly makes this 1985 version so extraordinary? Well, there's one critical aspect that sets it apart from all others. You may be wondering, what's so special about the 1985 South African 20-cent coin that could make it worth $7 million? To put it simply, scarcity. This particular coin is one of the rarest in the world due to a major mintage error that occurred during its production. Here's where the story gets interesting. The error is often referred to as the 1985 Springbok minting mistake. Due to a production flaw, a limited number of 1,985 coins were minted with a unique flaw that is visible only when you examine the coin under close scrutiny. Notice how, on this specific coin, the Springbok animal's design is slightly off-center, with a peculiar misalignment of the details. This error makes the coin incredibly rare and increases its value exponentially. Because only a small batch of these coins were made, and many were either lost or destroyed, this coin is considered a holy grail for numismatists. The value of these coins skyrocketed in the 2000s when collectors began to recognize the mistake, and some have fetched up to $7 million at auction. Okay, now that we know why this coin is so valuable, let's talk about how you can identify it. Here are the key features to look out for when determining if you have one of these rare $7 million coins. First, examine the Springbok stance. On the error coins, the animal's position is slightly off, giving it a distorted or slightly tilted look compared to standard issues. Also, check for any misalignment in the minting process. This could be in the date or denomination. The most crucial part is the off-center design of the Springbok. You won't see it on every coin, but if you look closely, it's like a fingerprint for these rare coins. It's important to have a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, as these flaws are very small and not always visible to the naked eye. But when you spot them, it can feel like finding a hidden treasure. Now, let's take a quick dive into the history of South African coinage, so you can appreciate just how remarkable this 1985 coin is within the broader context of the country's monetary system. South Africa's coinage began in 1961, when it became a republic and moved away from British currency. The introduction of the Springbok design for the 20-cent coin was a part of this transition. Over the years, South Africa has produced several designs for coins, reflecting both the nation's economic changes and the artistic evolution of its minting process. The 1985 coin marked a period of political change in South Africa, with the country transitioning into the 1980s amidst global scrutiny. The Springbok design, though symbolic of national pride, also became emblematic of an era of major social and economic shifts. Let's talk about some of the auction records. The rare 1985 20-cent coin has sold at auction for millions, but the most expensive one was sold at Sotheby's in 2015, where it fetched an incredible $7 million. This price is absolutely unparalleled for a coin of this denomination. The auction houses that deal in high-end numismatics, such as Sotheby's and Christie's, have seen many of these rare coins pass through their doors. The intense bidding wars among collectors from around the world only add to the allure of these coins. One thing is for sure, the 1985 South African 20-cent coin is truly a treasure, not only because of its rarity but because it's tied to South Africa's history, which makes it a unique collector's piece. Before we wrap up, let's talk about how to determine the value of your own coins if you think you might have one of these rare 1985 Springbok coins in your collection. First, have your coin professionally appraised *** by a numismatist or a trusted coin dealer. They'll look for the distinctive flaws we talked about earlier and determine its condition. A coin's grade can significantly impact its price. The better the condition, the higher the value. So, there you have it. The mystery and allure behind the 1985 South African 20-cent coin. This coin, 1992 South African 50-cent coin, one of the lesser-known yet fascinating coins with surprising historical and collector value. Whether you're a coin enthusiast or a new collector, this is one coin you'll want to learn more about. The year 1992 marked a major transitional period for South Africa. It was the final full year before the end of apartheid, and major political reforms were underway. As a result, coins minted during this time carry historical significance. The 50-cent coin from this year, though circulating as normal currency, is now sought after for more than just its face value. This 50-cent coin is part of the third decimal series of South African coins, which began in 1989. Unlike previous series, these coins were designed with a modern look while keeping symbolic national elements. The 1992 coin was minted under the South African Reserve Bank and reflects both cultural and political change. One of the most striking features of the 1992 50-cent coin is its reverse design. It features the famous Strelitzia reginae, commonly known as the crane flower or bird of paradise flower. This flower is native to South Africa and symbolizes beauty, growth, and resilience, fitting for the nation's transformation during the early 1990s. The obverse side of the coin features the South African coat of arms, which was used from 1910 until it was replaced in 2000. Around the coat of arms, the name of the country appears in two languages, English and Afrikaans. In this year, you'll find South Africa and SUID Africa along the rim. This bilingual feature not only reflects the country's diverse linguistic heritage but also represents the country's complex socio-political background at the time. The coin weighs 5 grams and is made from nickel-plated copper, giving it a shiny silver appearance that has stood the test of time for well-preserved pieces. Collectors have noted that the 1992 50-cent coin often shows up in circulated condition, but there are a few uncirculated or proof specimens known. These are especially valuable because they are rare and typically not found in everyday coinage. The South African Mint produced a limited number of high-quality coins that were not intended for mass circulation. Interestingly, the 1992 coin is one of the lower mintage issues in the 50 cents range during that period. With limited supply and increasing demand from collectors both inside and outside South Africa, its value has gradually appreciated over the past few decades. Now let's talk about its collector value. A standard circulated coin might fetch between $1 and $10 depending on condition. However, if you possess an uncirculated or proof coin, especially one still sealed or graded by an official body like PCGS or NGC, the value can be much higher. There are rumors and verified auctions where pristine or rare variants of this coin have sold for several $1,000s. In extremely rare cases, if a coin features an error such as a double strike, misalignment, or off-center minting, its price can skyrocket in the numismatic market. One such coin reportedly sold at an international numismatic auction for a price close to $4 million due to a rare minting error and its exceptional proof condition. While these sales are very rare, They showcase the potential value that historical coins can have when collectors and historians take an interest. But it's important to remember that not every 1992 50-cent coin will hold such high value. Condition, rarity, and demand are what truly drive coin prices. Still, it's always worth examining your old coins closely. You never know what hidden treasure you might find. If you have this coin, make sure to preserve it well. Avoid cleaning it, as that can reduce its value. Store it in a coin capsule or a dry, soft pouch to prevent scratches or environmental damage. If you believe your coin is special, consider having it appraised or certified. You can check online marketplaces, coin fairs, and auctions to compare prices, but be cautious of fakes or replicas. Only buy or sell through trusted dealers and platforms that provide authentication and support. Transparency is key in coin collecting. This coin isn't just a piece of metal, it's a snapshot of South African history. From its design to the era it was minted in, this coin 1992 50-cent coin history, this coin 1 Rand 1988 coin. You won't believe how much this little coin is worth today. If you're a collector or just getting into the world of rare coins, this video is packed with valuable information that you don't want to miss. Make sure to stick around until the end, where we'll reveal its incredible value. Let's get started. Before we talk about the value, let's go back in time to understand the context of this remarkable coin. The 1 Rand coin was first introduced by South Africa in 1961, and by the time 1988 came around, the country was going through a period of political change and economic challenges. In 1988, South Africa was under the policy of apartheid, a system of institutionalized racial segregation. The rand, however, was not just a currency, it was a symbol of the complex political and economic climate of that era. The South African Reserve Bank issued the 1988 1 Rand coin as part of its ongoing series to replace the older British sterling coins and establish a national currency. The design on the 1988 coin features the famous Springbok antelope, which has been a consistent symbol on South African currency since the 1940s. The Springbok, which symbolizes the country's natural beauty and wildlife, appears on the reverse side of the coin. Let's take a closer look at the coin's design. On the obverse, you'll find the iconic South Africa inscription, along with the year 1988. The reverse side showcases the Springbok antelope, known for its grace and speed, which has become synonymous with South African pride. Notice how the Springbok is elegantly depicted in mid-leap, symbolizing South Africa's untamed natural beauty. Around the Springbok, you'll also find the inscription, 1 Rand, along with the mint mark if you're lucky enough to have one with this rare feature. The edge of the 1988 coin is reeded, which was a common feature in most Rand coins of the time. This was done to prevent people from clipping or shaving off small amounts of precious metal, a technique sometimes used by those looking to profit from coinage. Now, let's talk about rarity. Not all 1 Rand coins are created equal. The value of any coin is highly dependent on its condition. For collectors, the grade or condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. If you have a 1 Rand 1988 coin that is in mint or near mint condition, it's significantly more valuable. Coins that have been preserved in pristine condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or wear and tear, are highly sought after in the numismatic world. Coins with errors or anomalies, such as misprints or misstrikes, also have a special place in the world of coin collecting. These types of coins, though rare, can fetch astronomical prices at auctions or with private buyers. Now for the exciting part. How much is the 1 Rand 1988 worth today? In 1988, the 1 Rand coin was simply worth 1 Rand. But today, its value has skyrocketed, especially for those in mint or perfect condition. If you're fortunate enough to have one in a pristine, uncirculated state, you might be looking at a value of up to $543 now. Let's break it down. A coin that's been kept in excellent condition can fetch a price of anywhere from $50 to $60,000, depending on the specifics. However, the real jackpot comes with those ultra-rare specimens, the ones with unique flaws or even the limited edition coins that were minted with slight differences. These rarities are what draw the attention of the highest bidders. So, how do you know if your 1 Rand 1988 coin is worth a small fortune? First, you'll want to closely examine the coin for wear. If the details on the springbok are still sharp and distinct, and the surface doesn't show significant signs of use, you might have a winner. Next, consider getting your coin professionally graded. A grading company, such as PCGS or NGC, can assess your coin's condition and give it a certification that will increase its credibility and value on the market. Finally, be aware of the market. Coin values fluctuate depending on demand, the current economy, and the latest auctions. If you have a rare coin, holding on to it might be a good idea if you want to maximize your return in the future. If you're new to coin collecting or you're considering starting your own collection, there's no better time than now. Begin by looking at coins that interest you, whether they are rare, historic, or simply have a design that appeals to you. Coins like the R1 1988 make great starting points. They're part of South African history, they have unique designs, and their value is steadily rising. If you'd like to dive deeper into this hobby, there are plenty of resources and communities out there to help guide you on your journey. Well, there you have it, folks. The R1 1988, a small coin with a big history on this coin 1988, South African 1 cent coin ***, and its unbelievable market value of a jaw-dropping $78, 125. Yes, you heard that right. This little coin, which was once worth just 1 cent, has now become one of the most valuable pieces in the numismatic world. So grab your magnifying glass and let's explore the history and rarity behind this stunning coin. To understand why the 1988 South African 1 cent coin is so valuable today, we need to step back in time. Let's go over its origins and the historical significance of South Africa's coinage during the 1980s. In the 1980s, South Africa was in the midst of major political and economic changes. The country was under the system of apartheid, which was a deeply controversial regime. This political backdrop plays an important role in the history of South African coins during this era. However, when it comes to the 1 cent coin, it's its design and production that contribute to its rarity and value. First issued in 1961. The South African 1 cent coin was part of the country's decimal currency system that replaced the pound and shilling system. Coins were initially produced by the South African Mint, which was established in the 1940s. Now, fast forward to 1988. This year marked the final year the 1 cent coin was minted before it was phased out. The 1988 1 cent coin is part of a set of final year coins, which are often highly sought after by collectors. Let's talk about the design of this coin. The 1988 South African 1 cent coin measures just 16 millimeters in diameter and is made of bronze, a durable metal that gives it a distinct, warm, reddish-brown color. The obverse, or front of the coin, features the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, a key historical figure in South Africa's history. He was a Dutch colonial administrator and the founder of Cape Colony. On the reverse side, we have the iconic springbok, the national symbol of South Africa. The springbok is a graceful and quick antelope, and it represents the country's natural beauty and wildlife. Notice the fine details on the springbok design. The texture, the crisp lines, it's these characteristics that make this coin not only visually appealing but historically important. Now, let's get into the most exciting part. Why is the 1988 South African 1 cent coin worth $78, 125 today? The answer lies in its rarity and its condition. In 1988, South Africa minted a relatively small number of 1 cent coins compared to other denominations. However, a portion of these coins never made it into circulation due to errors in production and a shift in the national currency policy. Most notably, some of the 1988 1 cent coins were misstruck, creating extremely rare variations that have sparked bidding wars among collectors. The most valuable among these are the proof coins, which are coins made for collectors and not meant for circulation. These proof coins are flawless, with a high-quality finish that makes them stand out. In recent auctions, a graded 1988 South African 1 cent coin with an impeccable quality and rarity has sold for over $78,000. The combination of historical significance, rarity, and condition has made this coin a true treasure in the eyes of collectors. Let's talk about how this coin fits into the broader world of coin collecting and investment. The 1988 South African 1 cent coin isn't just a piece of history, It's also an excellent example of how rare coins can be valuable investments. Numismatics, the study or collection of coins, has always been a popular hobby, but it has also become a serious investment opportunity. Rare coins like this one can appreciate over time, and collectors often hold on to these pieces for years, if not decades, watching their value grow. For many collectors, it's about more than just the money. It's about the joy of owning a rare and beautiful piece of history. But for investors, the 1988 1-cent coin is definitely one to keep an eye on if you're looking to expand your portfolio. So, what do you think? Is the 1988 South African 1-cent coin the crown jewel of your collection? Or perhaps it's still on your bucket list? Either way, it's clear that this small piece of currency has a big story to tell. And this coin, 1990 South African 2 Rand coin, this coin with its stunning design and deep historical significance has become one of the most sought-after collectibles, and here's the jaw-dropping part: this seemingly ordinary coin has been valued at a staggering $8 million, but what makes it so rare and valuable? Stay with us till the end as we uncover the secrets behind this extraordinary piece of currency. Historical background: the 2 Rand coin was introduced in South Africa as part of the country's decimal currency system. Before this, South Africa used the pound system, but in 1961, when the nation became a republic, the rand was adopted as the official currency. The 1990 version of the 2 Rand coin holds special importance as it was minted during a transitional period in South African history just before the end of the apartheid era. This coin represents a time of change, making it a historically significant piece. Obverse design: a symbol of power. On the obverse side of the coin, you will find the coat of arms of South Africa. This intricate design features a shield supported by 2 animals, a springbok and a lion, symbolizing strength and resilience. The shield itself is divided into different sections, each representing various aspects of South African heritage and culture. Above the shield, there is a crown-like structure signifying the country's sovereignty. Surrounding this majestic emblem, you'll see the words Suid-Afrika and South Africa written in Afrikaans and English, showing the nation's bilingual heritage. Reverse design: the iconic springbok. The reverse side of this coin features the springbok, one of the most recognizable symbols of South Africa. This graceful antelope is not just a national icon, but also a representation of speed, elegance, and endurance. The springbok has been featured on various South African coins, including the famous Kruger and gold coins. On the right side, you'll see the denomination 2 Rand clearly engraved, signifying its face value. The artist ALS Arthur Sutherland designed this beautiful piece, ensuring that every detail of the springbok is captured perfectly. Metal composition and specifications: the 1990 South Africa 2 Rand coin was minted in nickel-plated steel, making it durable and resistant to corrosion. However, there are some rare silver and gold prototypes that were never released for circulation. These rare versions are what make collectors go crazy over this coin. The specifications are as follows: weight 7g, diameter 24 mm, shape slightly rounded square, metal nickel-plated steel with rare silver and gold variants. Rarity and collectors' demand. Now let's talk about what makes this coin a true collector's dream. The 1992 Rand coin is considered rare because very few high-quality specimens exist today. Most of the circulated coins have scratches, wear, or damage, making them less desirable. However, if you happen to own a proof or uncirculated version, you could be holding a fortune. Additionally, special mint error coins, such as those with misprints, double strikes, or off-center designs, are known to fetch sky-high prices in auctions. Value in recent auctions: a shocking revelation. Here comes the most exciting part: the value of this coin. While regular 2 Rand coins may be worth just a few dollars, the ultra-rare versions of the 1992 Rand coin have recently sold for as high as $8 million. Yes, you heard that right. This insane value is due to its historical importance, minted during the crucial transition of South Africa's history. 2 limited surviving pieces in mint condition. The best preserved ones are incredibly rare. 3 collector frenzy: coin collectors and investors worldwide are paying millions to own a piece of history. How to identify a valuable 2 Rand coin? If you have a 1992 Rand coin, here's how you can check if it's a valuable one. 1. Check the minting errors. Look for double strikes, missing letters, or off-center designs. 2. Examine the metal composition. If your coin is silver or gold, it's an ultra-rare prototype. 3. Check its condition. Coins with no scratches, discoloration, or damage are worth the most. 4. Look for proof versions. These coins have a special shiny finish, and are highly valuable. Where can you sell this coin? If you believe you own a rare 1990 South Africa 2 Rand coin history, this coin 1988 10-cent coin from South Africa, let's find out why. Let's start with the history. The South African 10-cent coin has seen several design changes over the decades. In 1988, South Africa was still under apartheid, and this era produced coins that would later become highly collectible. The 10-cent coin from this period features 2 protea flowers, a symbol of beauty and diversity, and on the obverse, the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, a controversial historical figure. What makes 1988 unique? Well, the mintage that year was relatively high, but there are whispers of rare mint errors and proof versions that never made it to circulation. These hidden gems are what collectors go crazy for. Let's zoom into the design. The coin is made of nickel-plated copper, with a reeded edge and a weight of 2 grams. The protea flowers on the reverse are delicately engraved, showing South Africa's national pride. On the obverse is the South African coat of arms or a portrait, depending on the series. Look closely, certain 1988 coins have visible differences in font spacing, flower details, or date alignment. These minor variations can boost the value dramatically, especially if confirmed by experts. Now let's talk money. Why is this coin reportedly worth $87,880? Some versions of the 1988 10-cent coin have been classified as error coins, meaning something went wrong during minting. Examples include double die strikes, off-center errors, or even the wrong planchet type. A verified 1988 error coin or proof strike, especially one that's in mint condition, can sell for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. One such coin, listed at $87,880, drew massive attention on collector forums. That you must always verify these prices with real auction results. Most 1988 10-cent coins are only worth face value or a few dollars, but if you have one in near-perfect condition, it's time to get it graded. Coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can confirm whether you've got something special. If your coin has a rare mint error, it's a game changer. Auction houses and collectors often pay premium rates for authenticated rarities. I always recommend checking eBay, heritage auctions, and local numismatic dealers to compare prices. Remember, condition is everything. A minor scratch can reduce value significantly. Keep your coins in airtight capsules and handle them with care. Some of our viewers have sent in their amazing finds, including a 1988 10-cent coin with a misaligned die that could be worth over $500. If you have a 1988 10C coin, comment below or send a photo to our email. You could be featured in the next video. Let's build a community that helps each other uncover hidden treasures. So, is your 1988 South African 10-cent coin history? This coin, South African 1988 5-cent coin, was issued as part of South Africa's coin series in the late 1980s. But what makes this particular coin stand out so much? Well, it's not just because of the date. It's a combination of factors like its design, historical significance, and, of course, its rarity. On the obverse side of the coin, we see a portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, who was a key figure in South Africa's colonial history, credited with establishing the first European settlement at the Cape of Good Hope in 1652. This portrait has been a common feature on South African coins for decades. It's a nod to South Africa's deep-rooted history, which collectors appreciate. On the reverse side, we see the iconic protea flower, the national flower of South Africa, and the denomination 5C for 5 cents. The design represents the country's natural beauty and its rich flora, which also adds to the appeal of this coin for collectors. Now, let's take a step back and look at the history behind the 5-cent coin itself. The South African 5-cent coin was first introduced in 1961, replacing the earlier smaller denominations of the pre-1961 South African currency system. In 1988, the country was going through significant political and social changes, which adds another layer of historical significance to this particular coin. In the late 1980s, South Africa was at a crossroads in its history. With the apartheid system still in place, though change was on the horizon. So, when the South African Reserve Bank minted the 1988 5-cent coin, it was not just a piece of currency, it was part of the fabric of a nation in transition. Now, let's talk about the minting of the 1988 5-cent coin. While this coin wasn't initially considered rare or special when it was first produced, its rarity and value have increased over time. The South African Mint produced a significant number of coins in 1988, but there were some interesting variations that began to catch the eyes of collectors. Interestingly, most of the 1988 5-cent coins were minted with a standard finish, but there were a few limited-run coins with specific errors or variations that significantly raised their value. These errors could range from slight misprints on the coin's edge to slight variations in the design elements. And of course, a coin with such a unique history becomes a highly sought-after collectible. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the value. While a typical 1988 5-cent coin is worth just a few cents today, there are certain rare examples of this coin that have sold for incredible prices. One of these coins, with a specific error or rare minting, fetched a whopping $43,230 at auction. How did it get this high? Well, the combination of rarity, historical significance, and demand among collectors drove the price up. When you add a unique feature, like a minting error or a coin that was kept in pristine condition over the years, the value can skyrocket, especially when only a few are known to exist. So, how do you spot a valuable 1988 5-cent coin? The key is to look for imperfections or unique features that make it stand out. Let me walk you through a few things to check for. First, check the edges of the coin for any errors in the minting process. Misalignments, incorrect inscriptions, or unintentional designs can sometimes occur. Next, inspect the coin for any signs of unusual wear. Coins in mint or near mint condition will command a premium. Now that you know how valuable a coin like this can be, what if you're just starting out in the world of coin collecting? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Here are a few tips to help you build your collection and potentially discover coins like this one. And that wraps up today's video on the incredible South African 1988 5-cent coin, worth up to $43,230. Who would have thought that such a small coin could carry such a big value? History__right. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Old COIN ZE Collection for more fascinating coin stories.